Hello everyone, this is Kingzilla50 back with a video. In today's video I'll be reviewing two Godzilla monsters here from Bandai, and that is the Bandai Godzilla Final Wars Rodan 2004 and Angirus 2004. So these figures came out in the Godzilla Final Wars Bandai line, and I'm only reviewing these two since I don't have a Godzilla 2004 Bandai figure. Like, the only Bandai Godzilla 2004 figures I own is this little guy right here. Even though he's too small, I won't be reviewing him. So, but he's exactly like the Bandai figure. And he has the exact same articulation and stuff like that. So, that's pretty much the only thing I have Bandai Godzilla Final Wars. Or, even though this guy's big and he's not really of a Bandai movie monster series figure, I had to bring him gently. It is the Bandai DX Godzilla figure that lights up. It doesn't actually light up anymore, but since this guy has a tail problem and it keeps on collapsing, I'm just going to bring him gently. Don't want to break it. And plus, he's really, really rare to find. So, these are pretty much the only Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla Final Wars figures I have out of the three. I also do have Kaiser Ghidorah, so I will be bringing Kaiser Ghidorah as well in this video. He'll be at the end though for size comparisons. So let's review Rodan and Angirus, starting with... For starters, we have the Bandai Movie Monster Series Rodan 2004 figure. Unfortunately, I'm starting off with my least favorites, and Rodan, of course, is the start of my least favorite Bandai Godzilla Final Wars figure out of him and Angirus. So, Rodan here, he actually has a really, really nice paint job on him. I do really, really like what Bandai did to this guy. He actually looks a bit like the movie, Rodan that was seen in the movie. I think the only difference is a bit of the colors. Because on the movie Monster Series 1, he's really, really red. Which, in the movie, he wasn't extremely red. So, yeah, he actually has really, really good detail on him, and the paint job's really, really nice. I also had another version of him, and I sold it, just so you know. It was in my collection video that I had another one of these, even though I sold it, so got money for more figures. But anyway, I also have another Rodan here, that's from 2004 here, and that is the 2018 version, and they both have the exact same model, but the difference with the 2018 version are the wings, because as you can tell, the wings are a bit wider than the other wings. Well, to me, they're really, really wide, even when holding the 2018 version. So, unfortunately, I more like this guy compared to the 2018 version, but I still do like the 2018 version. But it's lesser red and more of a brown color. So, anyway, let's talk about the Final Wars Rodan figure. He's unfortunately my least favorite out of the Final Wars toy line. And, I mean, for the articulation, he has no articulation. I would have thought the head can move, but it turns out the only articulation are the legs. But unfortunately on mine, the legs are very, very stiff, so they won't be able to move that well. So, that is very, very sad on my Rodan figure here. Still is an okay figure though. But he's unfortunately the worst figure out of the Final Wars line. But anyway, I've heard that lots of people, well, some people had standing issues with their Rodan. And you know, I actually do like this guy for standing. He doesn't fall over. Well, that's my figure. But anyway, I mean, if you like pose the legs a bit differently, he will fall. Like if you pose them like this, he's definitely gonna fall. So yeah, I would just recommend putting him like that. But if yours has standing issues, I don't really know what to really talk about. But really, I think that's just your figure. So, if I had to rate this guy out of 5, he would actually have to be a 3 out of 5, but yeah, that's pretty much, 3 out of 5 for Rodan. I mean, he's an alright figure. He's not the worst Bandai figure, but just a lack of articulation though. And the final figure that I'll be reviewing is the Bandai 2004 Angirus. I'm just joking, Angirus, whatever you want to call him. But I actually do really like this figure. He's actually one of my favorite Godzilla Final Wars figures from the toy line. I think he's probably my second, like he's probably near Rodan for being the worst, but he's not entirely the worst action figure. I actually do really like him. I think he's definitely better out of the Final Wars line, even though he's of course not as better as Kaiser Ghidorah and Monster X and Godzilla, of course. He still isn't, he's like next to Godzilla for my favorite Final Wars figures. And I do really like what Bandai did with this paint job. It really looks like Angirus from the Showa era, which is what I do really appreciate with Final Wars Angirus, is that he looks a lot like the Showa one. Especially Rodan. Rodan looks a lot like the Showa one as well, because he has the exact same pose as the Showa one. So, and Angirus here does look a lot like the Showa one, so that's really neat. So, articulation for him, he actually has a lot of articulation. Well, only 5 points of articulation, like the hands can go, and also the feet can move, and also, surprisingly, the head can move, but I don't really want to force it too much. Of course, I got this guy for my birthday, and Rodan I got at the same guy that was selling the Angirus figure and the Kaiser Ghidorah figure. He actually had 2 of these, and I already got rid of one of them. So, anyway, that's where I got this guy. He was from my birthday, and he's a really awesome figure. I do like the inside, the mouth of the painted tongue. I think the problem that I have with this figure with paint job is like the horn on the front. You know, the horn on the nose. I mean, if you can see, this definitely looks a bit old with the paint job. So, yeah, really awesome. His tail's also neat. It has the copyright information on this tail right there. Pause to read if you want to. So, yeah, there's nothing really much to say about this Angirus figure. It's a really cool figure, and Bandai Creations did make this figure. But unfortunately, I actually don't like the Bandai Creations one. I don't hate it, but it's just that the figure has a bigger shell than the normal Bandai one. And it's basically the normal Bandai one, but with a much different shell, and it's really big. So that's a big problem with the Bandai Creations one. Exactly the same with the Rodan one. I mean, I don't like the Bandai Creations Rodan one because it looks a bit weaker. Like, Rodan looks a bit, I don't know, a bit weirder than the Movie Monster series version. So, yeah, I guess Bandai Creations absolutely fails with their figures. But if I give Angirus out of 5, it'll actually be a 4 out of 5. Yeah, 1 star, 1 star between Rodan. So, I know lots of people are giving him like a 3 or 2 out of 5, but I actually really like this figure, so that he gets a 4 out of 5. So yeah, that's pretty much the Godzilla Final Wars Angirus and Rodan from Godzilla Final Wars. Now, of course, if I do get a Godzilla figure, I will definitely be reviewing him, but for now I have Rodan and Angirus. But that's not the only ones I have. Bam. Yeah, I know, he's really big. The Bandai Kaiser Ghidorah, which is also from Godzilla Final Wars. Now, I've already reviewed this figure. The Kaiser Ghidorah I've already reviewed. You can check out the video. I won't put in the link in the description. You can just find it on my channel. Just so you know, I'm not going to put in the link in the description. Just find the video if you really want to look into this review, or go into the playlist on my Godzilla figure reviews. You'll definitely find the video there. So, I've already reviewed Kaiser Ghidorah, so I'm not going to really show him for now in this video. So, yeah, that's pretty much Final Wars Angirus and Final Wars Rodan. Which one is your favorite out of these two? And I don't have the Godzilla one yet, but I dare. So comment down below if you really like Rodan or Angirus, or which one you like out of the Final Wars line. You can also include Godzilla and Kaiser Ghidorah, even though Kaiser's definitely going to be number 1 and so is Monster X. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, goodbye.